NSC Fan TV, Drew, here with Scott. After the second defeat of the season, a bunch of away games against Real Salt Lake.
So before we talk about the Salt Lake game, let's get so we weren't able to talk about the Dallas game because I had COVID in my house, and so had to cancel pretty much everything. I have one sentence to say about the Dallas game, and that's
okay.
I have not seen NSC outplayed and just beat, but twice. Once was that away game at Red Bulls last season, and at Dallas. We just got beat.
Aside from that, I think our defense holds us up even in the worst of situations.
Yeah.
I mean,
the defense holds us up. We play well, and we can grit it out. And we almost did it against RSL.
Oh yeah.
The defense generally bails us out. But these last two games, that has not been the case.
And I've got to say, I got to give it to Real Salt Lake before we get too far in.
Yeah.
Schmidt and Wood.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Bobby Wood for the USA, you know. But against us, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
It was going to happen.
Did we not? Yeah, we knew that Bobby Wood's a good player. Right?
Yeah,
Should have somebody actually guarding him.
Yeah.
So
right.
Hey.
But then he was the one guarding Zimmerman for the goal, which is the great irony. Maybe the irony is deeper than I thought, but we'll get to that.
Oh well, yeah, let's talk about that. What's the irony?
The irony is Zimmerman's head looking forward.
Yeah.
Is exactly what got us the goal, but also what got us into trouble and made us lose the game. Honestly,
so his head going forward, and that was on a set piece, and so in some ways that's part of the design.
So,
but then the irony was that he was going forward really pretty much was playing effectively in the midfield whenever we had possession, starting in about the 60th minute.
I think that's right. And that's even before the Loba sub. Yeah, the Loba came. Well, yeah, Samuel came off. And then Samuel came off.
Will came off. Loba came on.
And then I think the other one was
So McCarty came on for Godoy at 74.
That's right.
And Will and Loba switched at 74.
Okay. So
Sapong replaced Bunbury at 56.
Okay. So it was after that one. Before that. Okay.
Yeah. So but our consistent concern with Zimmerman is the positional play. Mm-hmm. We don't have a concern with his capacity to be able to contribute to the offense, and he even had like a quick little dump from McCarty and had like a quick snap. It didn't quite have the power that a striker would have, and so that might.
So he's not. Yeah, I was gonna say if it's not in his head, then it's not the same.
Yeah, he did have a quick snap, and so he did have a nice chance. So he had the header from the set piece, and he had the quick chance from the dish from McCarty in the second half. But the problem is that whenever he makes those contributions, he creates a hole in the back, and whenever we're on set pieces, we can cover that, and so we can drop someone back. But whenever it's during
whenever it's during open play is just a mess because all it takes is something to go wrong, a counterattack to happen, and then you have a gaping hole where the central defender was. Yeah. And at first I had thought, okay, with some of the subs, I wondered if we had switched to sort of a more defensive situation, but technically we were classified as 3 in the back with Zimmerman still in the middle.
Yeah,
and I think having like Moyle and Lovitz on the wings,
right?
I think actually kind of helped because they
did a lot of dropping back. Certainly Lovitz did.
Yeah.
But whenever we subbed Moyle off with Sapong, we really kind of went 2 up front.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that changed a little bit of our positional play because we were thinking that there were actually 2 problems with some of the positional play. One was the Zimmerman coming forward. The other one was that
Mukhtar was dropping back. And I had noticed that, and I thought, well, it's happened before, so it isn't completely out of the ordinary. But it's not the kind of thing you want someone like him to be doing.
Yeah.
And I think I was more happy about him not just getting the ball and just giving it away going forward this game than I was last game against Dallas. But it came at the cost of him playing defense too, which was weird.
And he wasn't forward for balls, and so we played 2 in the front. So once we went with Sapong and Loba in the front, we had 2 sort of squarely in the front. Mukhtar was not playing in a 10 spot. I mean, he was like a 9.5 or something like that. Or like
he wasn't even a 5. At least be like
it was
a
more like an 8.
9.
Yeah, it was like an 8 or something like that.
I was gonna
so
say,
he was way back, and given that we needed to be a little bit more forward-footed, it was a little bit frustrating to see because we just didn't have the numbers in the front. And again, I thought that Loba had a more positive impact than he has in the past.
I agree.
Still needs he just needs more exposure. But given the fact that Mukhtar was coming so far back, there were just so many times where we were just like, the ball would get forward, but then it was like, well, but now it all has to be hold up play because it's like 4.
Now
it's 2 against 4. Yeah.
We've got to try to launch things back. Yeah. And I think Loba getting a bit more time was also nice because he came on in the 72nd minute, so he had at least 20 minutes to be on and actively contributing. So I think, and I wonder if there wouldn't be something to be said about subbing him on even earlier.
Yeah,
as time goes on, and I mean, eventually build up.
Maybe
to starting.
I mean, maybe he starts, and if he stinks, then we pull him. Because,
maybe even that,
because we do have other good options, and so let's talk about one of the options that we've got for Loba, which is Bunbury. And so I thought that Bunbury's play in the front was excellent. I think that he had a really great chance that was in the first half, where he caught that ball and had a really quick turn, and
he had to turn,
and it arced a little bit wide of the goal, but it was a super quick turn. It had power. It had a sort of a cool arc to it. So it could have been a really nice goal. And he's also a worker, and in this regard, I think that he has a positive impact in the front.
I think that's right. And like I was saying before, he pulls defenders. Like that moment where he had to turn on a dime and then get the nice arc on it. There were 2 defenders on him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why he had to make that sharp of a turn.
Yeah.
I mean, that was impressive. When I saw that, I thought,
it was like, okay,
that's what clinical play looks like in the front. Being able to turn like that with bodies on you. I mean, that was impressive. I'm really looking forward to seeing him this season, and that was very exciting to see.
It's his defense, though.
That's
because he got beat. He got beat like he stole something by Bobby Wood on the near poster.
Okay, that's
and then the other one that sort of dropped. Now again, I think that the second one was that I think that everybody on the backside was expecting that ball was going to get nicked or get put somewhere else, and so they were positioned more to react to it not being directly at them, and that being
direct. Sometimes direct play is the most effective because of that. Because not expecting it. Yeah.
And so, the second goal, I'm less inclined to think that he was beat. But the first goal, like Bobby would just beat him.
He should have been able to anticipate exactly what was going to happen. Got beat. Yeah. I love you, Bobby Wood. But
yeah, right. I mean, he's a really good player. And so that's the other thing. It was like, look, you've got a strong player and you're playing, and your job is to sort of lock down the near post. Lock down the near post.
Another thing, maybe yeah, that's true.
So,
that's true. Loba, okay, here's another thing, too. Yeah. Sapong wasn't on at that point. Right. And it probably would have been him locking him down otherwise. And I think he's maybe been better at doing
stronger
that.
In the air.
I think, stronger in the air is a better way to put it.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, so we have, let's talk about Zimmerman's goal. That, by the way, what a bright spot. What a bright spot. Because it was excellent. It was excellent all around.
Because we were trailing. Yeah. We were used to that.
Used to playing from behind. Used to chasing the game. And then we get a set piece. And we did great. I mean, we were really pushing them. Yeah. The run of play was in our favor.
I mean, Mukhtar run of play was in our favor. Oh my gosh.
And then Mukhtar's swing.
Oh
so
my
beautiful.
Gosh,
so beautiful.
Yeah. That was perfect.
It was perfectly placed ball.
That was beautiful. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. And Zimmerman just had to, I mean, it's not even... Did he head down? Yes, but he didn't even need to. It was almost like redirecting the beautiful arc.
Yeah.
I mean, he came in and snapped it. I
mean, that right there was as picture perfect a set piece goal from us as we could have had. Yeah. And so the irony of that game is that there were really 2.5 set piece goals, right? 2.5, right? I mean, all of them kind of came from stop play. Like, 2 of them definitely stopped play.
2 of them were
and then the other one was something that sort of developed out of a free kick. Yeah, and so that's the reason why I say half. But, this has been our consistent problem. Is just that, it was a set piece and we weren't ready.
The set piece?
And we weren't ready.
Remember that from last season? Yeah, it was a set piece.
Fans know that one. Was it a set piece? We weren't ready.
We weren't ready. If the team has our number too, I mean, that's just it was a set piece. We weren't ready.
Are we ready?
No. It was a set piece. So
we're not going to be ready.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating. So on the one hand, great to see us get the goal off of that set piece. And so, but again, the consistent complaint that I've had about this team has been that for some reason we just get beat on set pieces.
Whenever play is stopped, it's
like everything kind of like it's like something gets erased or something like that. It's
people forget they need to mark their man or something. Like you need to be
needs to be rolling for me to be engaged.
Yeah, you need to be watching your guy. You can't
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, set piece we weren't ready.
Piece we weren't ready.
And the worst thing too is when it happens quickly.
Oh,
because that's been the thing in the last few years is those quick set and go set pieces and those catch us almost every time.
Every time. Yeah. Thumb in mouth. I don't know what's going on. All right, so we've got two more things to talk about. Let's talk because you wanted to talk about the Lovitz chance.
The Lovitz chance was amazing. Look.
It's a Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl.
His left foot is incredible. His right foot, on the other hand...
His right foot is just good for standing on it.
It's just good for standing on it, for planting, so he can get that left slinger in. I mean...
Oh, my gosh.
But that plant was excellent on that...
good.
That first chance, I mean... But he almost got a second chance, you were saying.
Yeah.
I was like...
It posted.
It posted. The inside of the post was just the worst. But then he almost got a second chance.
Yeah, he almost got a second bite of the apple, but it had to be a right footer.
It had to, yeah.
And
with that being said, it... didn't look great.
It didn't look so good.
Yeah.
I don't think they actually got it. I don't think they actually got a swing off at it.
Mm-hmm. But he was drifting. But that was the result of him drifting inward.
Yeah. So I think
that's new.
He's an excellent winger.
Yeah.
We've been using him with that sort of 4 in the back in the past, and he is a strong defender.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, I just love his work rate. His swinging balls are fantastic. Him coming off and sort of overlapping on those wings is just fantastic. And so I hope to see more of that kind of play.
I do.
Going forward.
And him getting a chance to drift inwards is amazing. I mean, I like it better, I'll say, than him playing as an inverted winger. Because that happened a few times last season when we had Johnston.
Right.
Johnston would be on the left, he would be on the right, which naturally... When you've got inverted wingers, they tend to drift inwards. It's just how it works when you want to play on the left. But
and that yielded a great goal against Atlanta. He serviced
That's right.
Rios for that great, really fantastic goal against Atlanta. But I don't think that it was nearly as productive, and I don't think that we had as much positive play that came out of his playing as an inverted winger. Because last night he was really a fantastic player last night. Just loved to see his play last night.
I agree. I think that, it's not the same having no Johnston on the right wing, but I think Moyle, I think he actually did well on the right wing.
Yeah.
I thought he didn't do bad at all.
I think that he played well. I think that he played well, and I think that, I think that his hustle always shows, but I think that one of the things I saw was that he's actually not as fast as he hustles. And so that
he's not as fast as he hustles, and also his left foot isn't the greatest. Yeah. That's the other thing. His left foot isn't the greatest.
I will say one thing, which is Eric Miller showed some speed.
He did. He did.
Eric, and so there's words, and they're in a little bowl, and I'm eating them. They were mine.
I
have to eat my words, put a little salt or maybe some ketchup on them. But they were he showed some speed. And so I was pleased. I was really pleased to see that. And again, it may just be like he's just got a dumb haircut, or like
maybe it's the way he kind of hop.
He kind of runs with his chest too far forward, or something like that. I don't know. It just he doesn't look fast, but maybe it's just me.
It's not as bad as Raheem Sterling having the dinosaur run, but then somehow he's fast.
Yeah, how is he fast? He's got terrible form.
Yeah, it's like, who taught you how to run? But damn, he's fast.
Yeah, don't mess with it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's talk about the moment that everybody needs to have an opinion about this RSL game. At the very end, we had Dax McCarty already carrying a yellow. with this.
It was a straight red.
And it was a straight red. It wasn't a second yellow.
It wasn't a second. That's the thing that people have to understand. It's the second yellow isn't the same thing as a straight red when it comes to suspension.
That's right.
Like for later games.
Yeah.
Because now he's not going to be able to play for 2.
I think it's 2. It's maybe 3.
2.
I'm unsure.
It's 2 or 3.
We actually need to, maybe 2 or 3. We'll have to look it up. We'll have it in the comments below.
We'll have it. But it was going to be, had it been a second yellow, it would have just been 1 or 2, I think. Yeah. Now I'm pretty sure it's 2 or 3. So it's an increased amount of suspended games that you can't play for. And it also just isn't a good look.
It just looks bad for us. I mean so this is
Reds on, yeah.
We're supposed to be a likable team.
Yeah.
And it's not just one of our players; it's our captain.
Yeah, it's
who's supposed
captain.
to be who in some
got
ways,
subbed on.
Who got he
got subbed on? He didn't start.
We can't say that it like we can definitely say it was a foul of irritation and frustration.
Yeah,
no doubt about that. Nobody's got any question. But it's not. But it can't be that he was tired.
No, it's not that he was tired.
That was just the fact that we had the RSL folks had gone to the corner. He'd been pushed over. He was flopped on top of the ball.
Yeah.
Now the referee, I think, probably could have done. I think that there's maybe a fraction of a second that the referee probably should have stopped play.
I agree. Once someone falls down over the ball like that, it's always
stop play because somebody's going to be in danger.
Yeah, as soon as someone tries to dig it out, it's
and so in Dax's defense, he should be trying to dig it out. If you play to the whistle,
it's true.
You play to the whistle.
It's true.
But you also don't play recklessly. And that was a really reckless challenge.
That was the first point is play to the whistle and don't play recklessly. The second question would then be, that's the first point. Then the question is, was that reckless play? And I think, personally, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it was reckless play. I think that he had already huddled over the ball. I don't remember what player it was for RSL. Yeah. And he tried to dig it out multiple times. It's not that he started and just gave up, but he had kept trying. And
it was the wind-up that did it for me.
The wind-up?
Because it wasn't just that he sort of put his foot down and then tried to dink it with his heel.
Yeah.
It looked like kind of like in the like if it were a punch, it would have been like out of a comic book where he went woo, woo, woo.
He walloped. Yeah.
Because he brought that leg way up.
Yeah.
I mean that was clearly this is going to be retribution for laying on the ball.
Yeah.
And if I make contact with the ball, great. If I make contact with you, so be it. Mm-hmm. And so, and look, our emotions get the worst of us. And this is, and we're all human, and Dax is a human being, and it's
when you're losing and you're at the very last chance of the game, that was 90-5 or 90-6 even, the game 5 extra, and I think it had gone to the 6th.
So we can understand that, and I think that we can also put it into context had it happened to one of our players. Mm-hmm. And saying, look, that's part of the objective is go to the corner and frustrate them. It's actually it's kind of like a nana boo boo.
Yeah,
it really is a kind of a we're owning you kind of thing. And so it's actually designed to do that. You run out the clock and you frustrate the other team.
And there was a moment where their keeper also got a hold of the ball, and then just sat with it for a bit.
Yeah,
and that makes people mad.
Yeah,
I mean,
but. That's not an excuse for what Dax did. We're all fucking grown-ups here.
Yeah.
And so we can put that in context and we can explain it, but the explanation is not a justification.
No, it's not. We made sense of it, but that doesn't mean he should have done any of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you know what? Do you know what someone who's in control of their emotions does?
What?
Maybe he dinks at the ball. Maybe he just turns to the referee and just says, "Will you please blow the whistle?" He's laying on the
stop play. Yeah. Because what did he think he was going to get it out?
No.
I mean, that's the question. No, that was out of frustration.
Yeah.
I mean, you're losing and you feel like you shouldn't be losing.
And that was a much closer game than 2-1. Like that should have been a tie.
No, that was
should have been a tie.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it looks bad.
Yeah.
But really it felt like a tie.
Yeah.
But although I think we kind of deserved it.
We don't
because of some of the stuff with Zimmerman, I'm like, okay, that flub was
so we had a lot of out of position play.
Yeah.
But the thing is that there was just so much positive play. There's especially
so many big chances.
Whenever we chase the game, it turns out that the offense wakes up and and we play with some urgency. The team is exciting to watch and interesting. Whenever we're chasing.
We've got characters.
I hate that we have to do that, but they're compelling.
It almost you look at it, it almost should have worked that we chased the game like we always did.
Yeah,
in this
it almost did.
It worked in all the other times.
It
we would
almost
end up with
did.
a tie, or we'd end up eking out a win. But this time, time the Zimmerman out of position stuff, alongside a few other
defense has to bail us out. Yeah, I agree. The positional stuff, but defense
has to
generally
bail
bails
us out. Yeah, and
we can chase the game, but so
yeah.
long as defense bails us out, and that means that our defensive players, especially if we're playing a 3, have to stay at home.
See, that's right. And I think the addition of players like Sean Davis, I think, helps. But it's just weird when people like McCarty come on later and things don't work out. You know, it's like
that wasn't play totally different when he came on.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, this is how we're supposed to do this.
Usually McCarty comes on and it's like, okay, now he's got our forward. Some people can come back and
he's got great organization.
Up. He's a great 6.
He is the he is the best. He is our best 6 option.
I think that's true. Yeah.
So yeah,
it's just usually that. It was really confusing. That's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, okay, so we've got a kind of a larger break for international stuff, but
international break, a couple more away games, and then May 1st will be
May 1st home.
I mean, yeah, it's just over a month out, but I'm so excited.
I am too. All right, are we done?
I'm through.
All right, I think I said my piece. NSC Fan TV.